Let me introduce you real quick because all these people don't know you. This is Mr. 58. He just won basically.
Thank you, man. That makes me.
You put it on a shirt,
makes me
okay?
feel good.
You put it on a shirt. It makes you feel good. Okay. You put it on a shirt. He basically won 3 times this year.
Team championship counts as one, I guess you could say. 4th in the PGA this year. Win in Chicago. Win at Greenbrier.
Where he shot 58.
Yep. I had some miscuts too. You know, nothing's ever perfect, but I played good this season, especially the end of it. I played really solid and couldn't be more proud, and we got a lot more good stuff coming.
And I know, Bryson, for a fact that you love the draw. You're a draw guy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play the draw your whole life?
No, I was a cutter growing up.
So why did you change?
I could overspin it like crazy, and I was always trying to take spin off of the ball, especially with a cut, and I just realized hitting a draw just de-lofts it and takes off the cut spin. And so for me, that's just kind of the route I started to transition to, especially when I turned professional, because a cut just didn't end up well for me.
When you shot 58 at the Greenbrier, how many cuts did you hit that day?
0.
0 cuts.
I mean, there was a chip shot that I tried to like flop and have a little bit of cuts.
That doesn't count.
Okay.
That
so
doesn't
no,
count. Like shots.
Zero.
So it doesn't really take that much versatility to actually play 58.
No. Especially if it's the right golf course and right scenario. There are times where you absolutely have to hit a cut in order for it to get to a certain place, but luckily at that golf course there was no place to hit a cut.
Hey, let's say you're in the right side of the fairway, right? There's a big tree. It is a dogleg right, and now there's no way out.
Yeah.
You have to hit a cut.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to encounter these situations, right? So what would you do? How would you do it?
So what I do is I actually open the club in my hands. So I start here.
You grip it differently.
You grip it, yep, and then I just open it up a little bit in my hands.
Yeah.
Right? And that's probably too much. I'm over-exaggerating. I mean, it's just minimal. Like, I'm talking like that.
Yeah.
That's how finite all this stuff is. When I'm talking like an open face, that's square, right? And then I go just a little bit open. That's open for me.
Okay.
And I can sense that.
So that's like, how much is that?
It's
like a degree?
3 or 4 degrees.
3 or 4, actually?
Yeah. I'll aim left because of it. I'll put it in the back of my stance because normally when I put it up, when I open the face, it lofts up quite a bit. And so I have to put it back in my stance just a fraction to keep the loft the same.
So you aim left to correct the starting line, yeah?
Yeah, if I'm aiming at the trees, right?
Yeah.
Here's square, open it.
And then swing-wise,
and
you
then
change
aim left.
anything?
And then I just swing across my feet line.
Okay.
And if anything, I try to swing more outside in, but.
Let's see it. That cut.
And there you go. And this isn't a pretty good left to right wind, so that's overcutting. But,
I mean, I mean, that looked like a beautiful cut to me.
Yeah.
But so, do you believe?
But I nitpick.
Yeah, I know. So do you believe you actually switched to a draw because you cut it? Because I have a feeling sometimes when people have curly hair, they want straight hair. When they have straight hair, they want curly hair, right? And you hit the cut, so did you want the draw because you hit the cut?
No, it was really because of the way I gripped it and the way I swung that it didn't line up for a cut for some reason. Like I could overcut the heck out of it. And I was always, I didn't know how to have a barrier of overcutting it. And so it always overcut in a very sticky situation when there's water to the right and I've got to hit a cut in there or whatnot. I would be afraid of overcutting it in the water. I didn't know how much a ball was going to cut. But for whatever reason, when I draw it, I can hit these end range parameters with my hands.
Yep.
And so I know that I can never overclose it in certain scenarios.
So it's way more stable for you.
It's way more stable. So it was actually out of mechanical necessity that I did that.
So you're turning more into a machine when you draw it.
Yeah, because I'm hitting these end ranges of motion. So there's a nice little draw every time.
That's a really nice draw, actually, into wind too.
Every time, right? The blue.
Yeah,
Just a little
I know it's boring watching you hit golf balls. So now let's say you want to hit a ball, like this is your normal trajectory, right?
Yeah,
like mid-flight. So let's say you want to hit it really high because you got to cover a tree.
Yep.
What would you do with an iron?
I'll try to pick it. I'm not going to try and swing up, but I'm just going to pick it and move it up in my stance.
What does that mean, pick it?
So pick it is like sweeping. If you ever swept anything on the ground, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of the thing. I'm not trying to go down at it. I'm not trying to swing up at it. I'm just trying to graze the grass. And what I do is I move it up in my stance.
So you try to change the swing arc, basically, a little bit.
Yeah.
At the bottom?
It's just where my hands are. So, so like it's how my hands are moving through the ball. It's definitely not more straight lined. It's more of a arc up. Like going an arc going across my hips instead of it going down towards the ball. It's more elongated. It's more, the hands are moving linear towards the target rather than towards the ground. All right, so now we hit a high ball, move it up in the stance, we pick it.
What? Did you see that? I didn't see it. How high was it?
It went like 200 feet in the air. It was like a sky ball. I skied it.
Okay, can you hit another one because I didn't see it? He's messing with me, isn't he?
No,
No.
You didn't see that?
I didn't see it.
Wow, it was pretty high up there.
High? Okay, hit another one.
All right. There you go. Is that better?
That is high.
You can see that.
I see that. That is 230 feet up in the air. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So now, the opposite. Like there's a tree, you gotta like, almost hit it like a stinger. I wouldn't say like a super low one, but then what would you change?
So I move it back in my stance, I turn the face a little bit, and I try and cover it, lead the handle.
Yeah.
And so I'm still kind of sweeping it, but I lead with the handle. So it's gonna be a pretty big divot, but it's back in stance, try to hit more of a draw.
Ooh.
Yep, and it's a low ball draw.
Perfect.
There we go.
So basically what you're doing is you're switching ball positions a lot, right? Move it up, move it back a little bit. Work with the face in a static way.
Yep.
So you're not doing a lot of things dynamically, right? So
No.
you keep the swing almost the same.
I try to, as much as possible. I just focus on where my hands are moving through space relative to the ground. So I'm always closing my eyes, feeling the ground, and feeling if I go more down on it, more up on it.
You might be wondering what these are. These are Painter golf shoes. This model, to be exact. And you probably noticed the crazy colorway. And yeah, they have a bunch of different really cool models, and I like them all, but the actual reason I'm wearing these golf shoes is one, the midsole, which gives me a great feedback on ground reaction forces, and two, the outsole with a special profile that helps me to stabilize my feet, especially torsionally on mats and on grass. Check out Painter golf shoes yourself, check out the description below, and get your pair today. And before we go back to the video, there's a bonus waiting for you in the very end of this. But first, back to Bryson.
More sweepy, any of those sorts of motions. That's kind of really how I change it. Change the hand position in relation to the face. I don't try and force myself a certain way.
Yeah.
I'll change the face angle, I'll change my stance line, and then I'll just try and move it like I should. How'd you feel on that one? Was that just, did that get you smoked?
Did you get the divot? Did you get the divot on camera? So would that be exactly the same with drivers?
Yes, but I rarely change that. I don't ever try and change my driver motion.
Really? So even when you hit into a crazy headwind and you gotta keep it low?
Don't care.
You don't?
I try to make the same motion.
Okay, that is interesting. I mean, that is really interesting out there because I have to, right? In long drive, we got to do that because when you launch it low, when it's downwind, you don't have a chance.
And I know how to, but the goal is not to hit the farthest all the time.
I get it.
Hit the most consistent and straightest. So a little different goals, but you know, that's kind of what it is for us.
Appreciate it, Bryson.
Yeah,
so one more thing, I want you to roast my bunker game.
Okay, I'm gonna roast your outfit first. Let me hit one good ball.
You weren't happy with these?
No, I am. I just want to
They were freaking sick what you just hit.
Just want to hit my normal.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Your game is so on. You're so consistent.
Well, but it's because of this thing. Everything stemmed from this. And that is a huge thing for people to realize. You gotta have the equipment that works best for you. Because if you're trying to change your golf swing and nothing's working, you might really want to look into your equipment and see if there's something that can help you in your game.